daily dispatches and images from the runways, as captured by Tease photographers. Rick Owens dedicated his fall 2019 show to Larry Legaspi, the American fashion designer who created flamboyant costumes for Kiss, Divine, Grace Jones and LaBelle. He introduced a camp ferocity to the mainstream and helped set a lot of kids like me free, wrote Owens in the show notes. In October, he will release a book about Legaspi with Rizzoli. For the collection, Owens collaborated with the legendary Italian fabric manufacturer Fortuny to create sumptuous printed jersey pieces that were draped around the body in homage to the mid-century dressmaker Charles James, whose work Owens often draws on. And if the models looked alien-like, it was because of the prosthetics created by the artist Salvia, who Owens first came across on Instagram. The body modification aesthetic has replaced tattoos for this generation, Owens said. Virgil Abloh covered a sports hall in a yellow checkerboard print for his latest show. It was a motif that appeared throughout his off-white collection, in a nod to racing flags, an allusion to the tracks the designer grew up around in suburban Illinois. There was also plenty of voluminous outerwear and streamlined leather tailoring, as well as Abloh's take on red carpet dressing, worn by the supermodels Karlie Kloss, Adut Akech and Gigi and Bella Hadid. Hinting at Abloh's roots in streetwear, Hadid wore a black spaghetti strap gown with monochrome off-white sneakers. Dries Van Noten's latest collection combined androgynous tailoring with exuberant florals. The show opened with a suite of pinstripe gray flannel tailoring before blooming into a dusky-hued display of photographic prints of flowers from Van Noten's own garden. Prints are frank, avoiding whimsy, fancy and romance, read the show notes. Instead, they nodded to a more austere mood, offset by black velvet and ornate embroidery. There was a hint of emotion in the air, too, emphasized by the soundtrack, two songs with the same title, Crying, by Roy Orbison, and then Rebecca Del Rio. John Galliano is vocal about his pyramidical way of working, in which ideas from his haute couture artisanal collections for Maison Margiela trickle down to the brand's ready-to-wear propositions. His previous artisanal show explored the concept of decadence, which he defined as the excess, the artifice, the decay. His fall 2019 ready-to-wear collection was a related meditation on what Galliano calls his degeneration technique, one which strips traditional garments down to their purest form and androgynously recontextualizes them. Hence a flannel coat transformed into a dress, an equestrian trouser mutated into a bustier and a pleather trench coat morphed into shorts with a deconstructed hem. The result was something altogether familiar, yet decidedly jarring. Set against the Eiffel Tower, St. Laurent's co-ed show was a dark, brooding representation of Anthony Vaccarello's midnight hour vision for the storied fashion house. A mirrored box reflecting a field of moving infinity lights echoed the sharpness of the designer's tuxedo tailoring, with its boxy padded shoulders, and the ornate embellishments adorning thigh-grazing cocktail dresses. The side-swept hairstyles, meanwhile, were a nod to Betty Catrou, one of Yves Saint Laurent's lifelong muses. The show closed in a tunnel of black lights, which transformed the models' looks into a day-glow rainbow of tangerine, fuchsia, ultraviolet and lime green. Maria Grazia Chiuri regularly partners with female artists, and the set for Dior's Fall 2019 show, presented at the Musée Rodin, was a collaboration with Tommaso Binga, whose images of women posing to resemble the letters of the alphabet adorned the white-walled space. The works set the scene for Chiuri's latest collection, which featured T-shirts printed with the title of a book by the feminist writer Robin Morgan and drew from two other seemingly disparate references, Teddy Girls, the post-war British subculture, the female equivalent of Teddy Boys, and Princess Margaret, a lifelong royal client of Dior. The former was evident in the grey Edwardiana tailoring and pussy bows, the latter in the sweetheart neckline chiffon dresses. Staged in a smoky concrete basement illuminated by pink strobe lights, Marine Serre's show opened dramatically with a head-to-toe-to-finger lycra catsuit in the designer's signature crescent moon print. The piece marked a continuation of her exploration of face and body coverings, which later segued into embellished balaclavas and masks. Serre often works with recycled materials, transforming second-hand clothes and fabrics, and this collection was full of eclectic textures, tartan, pastel silks, highlighter bright faux fur, iridescent more that she sculpted into dramatic silhouettes anchored by printed denim, spherical purses and, of course, those instantly recognizable bodysuits. Simon Porte-Jacquemus kicked off Paris Fashion Week with a show that celebrated French rural life, a homage to his upbringing in the south of France. The life-size town square, complete with fruit stalls and laundry hanging out to dry, was impressive in its scale and a perfect backdrop for what could possibly be the tiniest bags ever created, which models slung as though they were baguettes. There were Brobdingnagian tote bags, too. This season, Jacquemus also upped his offering of tailoring, strong-shouldered blazers with high-waisted pleat front pants, and outerwear, slouchy trench coats with utilitarian pockets, all in a saturated palette of colors, including shocking pink, bright tangerine and parrot green. Reporting by Osman Ahmed.